Does someone earning in dollars live poorly in Argentina?
Oh.
Does someone earning in dollars live poorly in Venezuela? There will be people kissing your feet, my brother, for you to take his wife and daughter right in front of him for $5. Isn't that right? In Cuba, does someone earning in dollars live poorly? What can't stay here is your wealth. And one of the things I publicly assert is that those who invest, who have stocks in the market, who invest in government bonds, in a country that is an exceptional dictatorship, a country without laws, are morally inferior to the dictators themselves. Because here's the thing, what is morally inferior? Would you your own child or your neighbor's child?
Your own, right?
Your own, because you have the duty to protect your child, right? When a person goes there and robs a bold dictator, they are defending their family, their group's interests. The moment you put money in the stock market, putting money into a dictatorship, a North Korean stock market, a Cuban stock market, a Caracas stock market, you are betraying and destroying your family for the benefit of someone else, aren't you? You are your own child. So, I'm saying things that most people who listen to...
Legitimizing his decision, so take my money, state, to do whatever you want.
Perfect. Control my family, control my children's future, even take the owner of the Pernambucanas, billions of reais. The judiciary said that her maid was an affectionate woman and that the maid's son was an affectionate son. 100% of the assets went to these people. If she had Bitcoin, the judge could have ruled that 100% of her assets belonged to the maid and the maid's son. The bastard son thing is over. You won't have any rights to anything because you won't be able to enforce anything. In fact, the change in currency leads to changes in motivations, which is what I mentioned. I believe that in 20 years, most marriages in the world will involve a dowry. If you don't pay, you won't have access to a woman.
For example, let's take the case of Venezuela. The currency has devalued so much, it's practically worth nothing anymore. The guys want to get paid in the Venezuelan currency. That's why they're negotiating everything in dollars. The guy sells the house, sells it for dollars. They just released that now, right? This has actually boosted the economy because the government printed so much money. It's worth absolutely nothing because of hyperinflation. The guys start to their daughter, their wife, so this creates a moral degeneration in people because of the state.
No, and if you don't commit crimes, you won't survive. You're going to commit crimes. You're either going to leave or die, or you become a criminal, right?
In a regime that...
In Cuba, those who obey the law will starve, right? Everyone has to commit crimes to survive, and the government can punish whoever it wants.
This is very clear.
Anyone who wants to understand the leftist mentality should read a book, including a preface in Brazil by Olavo Lobachevsky. They're not normal people. They're pornographic psychopaths. And a third of the population in Brazil are useful idiots. People who, if you tell them the sky is blue, will believe the liar's word over what their own eyes see.
So, you see that the real is going to reach that point.
How much was a gram of gold when the real started?
I don't know.
It was $10, now over $300. Real has collapsed.
And why are we still living?
Why? Is it still happening?
You're living. But now you're losing 20 to 30% of the wealth you would have if you weren't using crap.
Per year. Yeah.